So I saw in my dream that he hurried to the palace, hoping to get lodging there for the night. But before he had gone far, he entered a narrow passage and saw a short distance ahead 2 lions lying in front of the gate. Now, he thought, I see the dangers which frighten, mistrust, and timorous. But the gateman, whose name was Watchful, seeing Christian halt, as if he would go back, cried out, Why are you so cowardly? Don't be afraid of the lions, for they are chained and placed there to test your faith. Stay in the middle of the path, and no harm will come to you. Then I saw Christian advance, trembling for fear of the lions. But he followed the gentleman's directions, and though he heard the lions roar, they did him no harm. When he reached the gateman, he asked, May I lodge here for the night? The gentleman replied, This house was built by the Lord of the Hill for the rest and safety of pilgrims. But where have you come from, and where are you going? I came from the city of destruction, and I am going to the celestial city. I pray that you give me a night's lodging. What is your name? My name before was Graceless, but now it is Christian. The gateman inquired, How do you happen to come so late? The sun is already set. Christian then told how he had fallen asleep in the arbor and how he had lost his scroll and had to return. So Watchful, the gentleman, rang a bell, at the sound of which a young woman named Discretion appeared and asked why she was called. Watchful introduced Christian, saying, If it seems good to you, may this man spend the night here? Christian told her how he had started on the journey and what experiences he had met with on the way. As Discretion listened, tears came to her eyes, and she said, I will call other members of the family to meet you. So Discretion ran to the door and called for Prudence, Piety, and Charity. After they had talked with Christian, they invited him to meet the rest of the family. At the door, the whole family bowed and welcomed him, saying, Come in, thou blessed of the Lord. He went with them into the house, and when he was seated, they brought him something to drink. Prudence, Piety, and Charity continued to talk with him until supper was ready. Far into the night, they sat and talked about the Lord of the Hill. Then after prayer, they separated and went to their rooms to rest. They showed Pilgrim a large upper room called Peace, whose window opened toward the sunrise. Here, Christian slept restfully until daybreak. The next morning, his friends told Christian he should not leave until they had shown him some records of great antiquity which gave the family history of the Lord of the Hill. These records proved he was the Son of God, without a beginning and without end, that he had subdued kingdoms, and that he was ready to forgive those who had reviled him. They also showed that he fulfilled all the prophecies concerning him. The family next took him into the armory and showed him all manner of armor, such as sword, helmet, shield, breastplate, all prayer, and shoes that would not wear out. There were also some engines of war by which the warriors of old had done brave deeds. Christian was delighted with all these things. When he would have continued his journey, they encouraged him to stay another day, saying, If the day be clear, we will show you the delectable mountains. So he consented. The next morning, they took him to the housetop and bade him look south. There he saw at a great distance a most pleasant country, beautified with mountains and woods. That is Emmanuel's land, they said. When you get there, some shepherds will point out to you the gates of the celestial city. Now Christian desired to set out immediately, so they did not keep him any longer. But first, they said, Let us go again into the armory, where you can put on the whole armor of God, lest you meet with the assaults of the enemy on the way. After he had put on the armor, he walked with his friends to the gate. There he asked Watchful if he had seen any pilgrims passing by. Yes, said the gateman. a man named Faithful passed by, but by now he has already gone down the hill." "Oh," replied Christian happily, "I know him. He is my townsman, my near neighbor. I must hurry and catch up with him." As Christian started out, Discretion, Piety, Charity, and Prudence insisted on accompanying him, so they walked on together, talking about the Savior. When they started down the hill, Christian said, "It was difficult coming up, and so far as I can see, it is dangerous going down." "Yes," said Prudence, "so it is. It is hard for a man to go down into the valley of humiliation, where you now are headed, and not have an accident on the way. That is why we are accompanying you." At the foot of the hill, his friends gave Christian, in parting, a bottle of wine, a loaf of bread, and a cluster of raisins. He received these gifts thankfully and went on his way alone into the valley of humiliation.